So boys and girls, the title of this video is correct. This isn't going to be some clickbait where I'm just selling a couple of breeders here and there. No, for the most part, we are completely getting out of crested geckos. While the downsizing of the crested geckos isn't probably a shock with you, I've talked about a little bit here and there, the timing of it probably is, and the reason behind it probably isn't exactly what you're thinking. For before we go on a super long, boring tangent on the philosophy and why I'm downsizing this project, let's check out what is actually available right now, because there is some absolutely amazing stuff up for grabs, not to mention, like the title suggests, a secret code for a giant discount that you can get if you watch to the end. It won't be at the very end, so you guys can't just skip. It's gonna be somewhere in here. You gotta stick around to find out what it is. Stuff on the list, we have Super Dal Jr. Now this little dude was a cookie and spots produced baby way back in the day. I want to say 2019 is when we first hatched this guy out. He has turned out to be a marvelous Super Dalmatian ink blot with red spot dude, producing some amazing babies as you can see in the B-roll, unless of course I forget to add the B-roll. All in all, an amazing male. Then over Cherry Pie is an almost all red spot with just a couple of black spots. Super down, absolutely amazing girl. She is not listed right now, but I probably will end up listing her just because at the end of the day I don't need this many crested geckos. Coming on to some of my pattern stuff, we will be releasing the rest of the empty back project. We have one of the females that is currently up for grabs, and now we are going to have the rest. This is going to be the male, a super soft scale, het empty back, absolutely marvelous crest, almost one of the floppiest ones we have over here. A great dude, has gotten the job done. Once again, some great babies. Pretty much all the adults we have are ready to breed, proven breeders that have made some great stuff. The last counterpart to this project is going to be this absolutely gorgeous pinstripe white wall het empty back. A marvelous girl, a pretty good crest I would say. She's been here for a little bit. We've produced her with some lily white stuff, and now this time the empty back project stuff. All in all, a great girl. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, oh, oh. Haha, that was silly. On the list, we have some Tiger Super Dalmatian stuff. This right here is Ziggy. He was named Ziggy because he has a little bit of a zigzaggy tail. However, I have found that it has not transferred over to the babies he's produced. Absolutely stunning Tiger Super Dalmatians, by the way. A little cute tip about Ziggy right here is I had Ziggy available when he was a sub-adult for like $200. No one wanted him for some reason. And as you can see here, absolutely gorgeous baby, or gorgeous adult, huge spots, a lot of spots going on, produces some amazing stuff, great tiger striping, all in all, a great dude. Last but certainly not least, when it comes to our adult breeders, we are going to be talking about Phoenix. Now, Phoenix was one of the best geckos I ever produced back in 2019 when it came to the Tiger and Super Dal projects that we were doing. Absolutely amazing. She's been here for quite a while and has sired some absolutely incredible stuff. The all-star confetti line stuff that you guys see, that was actually a Spice times Phoenix baby. So if you do want to make pairings like this B-roll right here, this gecko, and then I believe there's disc gecko as well, also Cherry Pie was from this pairing, you can actually grab the individual pair that produced those animals right now. I believe that is it for the breeders currently that we have listed. However, that is not the end of the show because we have very many holdbacks that we have listed available right now, and these things are, well, chef's kiss, absolutely fantastic. First up on this list, we have CG2323, which is a 2023 Phoenix Time Shank pairing, an absolutely amazing dude, some great spot coverage, and we've got some great ink blotting, especially on the face. We have some really cool stuff. This guy is going to be an absolutely incredible gecko if you guys are looking for Tiger Super Dals. Up is CG2317. This was an interesting holdback because it was one of the only Pebbles Time Spice holdbacks that I've ever done before. We really don't have much Pebbles blood because all in all, she was not a fantastic looking gecko and didn't produce fantastic stuff. However, this one was the exception. As you guys even see in this wide angle lens, we have this giant ink spot. Check that out. No B-roll needed. That thing is big enough to see from this far away. Absolutely incredible. This is a really nice gecko that has some interesting lineage. If you do have a lot of my stuff, there's mostly going to be Spice and Phoenix or Phoenix and Shank, so this is some new blood that you can add within that to make some great projects and keep pushing that forward. Moving forward, we are back to the pattern stuff. This guy is CG23. CG2315 or 14, you'll be able to tell because it will be the pattern one. One's a Super Dal, one's a pattern. Absolutely amazing dude. This was a lily white to the white wall empty back that we had. So a gorgeous empty back crested gecko, great pinning, nice head structure right off the bat. All in all, a great dude. Don't let the personality, this guy has a jumpy personality. The looks make up for it. This will be an absolutely incredible breeder when it grows up. See, he's not that bad. There you go, buddy. Don't do it. Jump here. Yeah. Are you serious? Yeah? Incredible. You see, you can train them. Up on the list, we have CG2315, which means that one was wait. I was right. This one's 1.5, so the other one was 1.4. Once again, an absolutely fantastic Phoenix times Shank pairing. Great Tiger Super Dalmatian, huge ink blotting. I wanted to keep this one to start producing bigger ink spots, so I wanted to kind of stretch myself out into different Dalmatians. One more and more spots, one being bigger and bigger spots, and the last one being that confetti mixture of the red and the other colors, black and all that, and so forth. So this guy was going to be part of that bigger spot collection. Once again, tiny baby. We're looking at about 8-10 grams at the most. When this thing grows up, it is going to look fantastic. Just like I said, fantastic for literally every other thing, because they all are, say it with me, fantastic. Now, I know you guys have been waiting for it, and now we are going to be delivering. We will have a couple, one or two probably, Leachianus listed on the site either now or very soon, like this absolutely amazing dude right here. We ended 6 Leachianus, 3 have hatched so far with 3 eggs still incubating, and we are willing to let go of a couple of them. An absolutely amazing guy. This is the first year we have done Leachianus from that beautiful pair that you guys have seen multiple times, so here's your chance to get a Leachianus from us. Before we continue on with today's video, I just want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, the Show Me Reptiles Expo. While yes, you can buy all of these geckos online, what if I told you that there was even a better deal waiting for you? Right now, it is waiting for you September 15th at the Springfield, Massachusetts Show Me Reptiles Reptile Expo. You guys can check out every single thing we have available. This includes the crested geckos, the gargoyle geckos, potentially Chihuahua, some Leachianus, tokay geckos, all of the plants, the bioactive substrates, and so much more. First, as what we do in every show, we will have exclusive deals for the show. So let's say you buy yourself a plant kit, you guys can get yourself 15% off your desired gecko, some bundle deals going on, a bunch of amazing stuff at that show. Place you want to be, if you happen to be in the New England area, you definitely want to come down again September 15th. That is a Sunday, down to the Springfield, Massachusetts Show Me Reptile Expo. You get to hang out with your boy and potentially buy some really awesome stuff. What could be better? Thank you guys so much. Let's get back into the video. Now, I do believe it is time to start answering some of your questions that I believe, I was just guessing some of you guys will have. Number one being, Dakota, are you getting completely out of crested geckos? The answer to that is no. Despite popular belief of everyone thinking I've been doing tokay geckos this whole time and mostly only tokay geckos, I started out with crested geckos. I've been breeding these guys as a hobby for, I don't know, 7-8 years, then as a business since 2019. I've been doing it for quite a long time, and I can't really imagine getting completely out of the crested gecko project. We will be holding back a very, very select few. At this point, we have the trio of this guy right here, my male all-star, that confetti, stripe, portholing, fringing, absolutely incredible male with some also pepperjack, that amazing yellow confetti we got going on, bullseye, and then I also do believe we will be holding back the cappuccino and lily white to keep producing fraps, because personally, I really enjoy them. Before I continue on, it is time to talk about that massive discount you guys can get. Now, the massive discount is going to have a code with it. If you guys have been joining my live stream, you guys know exactly why I'm getting rid of crested geckos, because we already talked about it. That is because I want to branch out into more rare species, and anoles are one of those. There are so many incredible species of anoles, and I want to start working with those guys. You guys shoot me a DM on any crested gecko you're interested right now with the code ANOLIS, that is the Latin for anole, for those of you that don't know. I will be giving you guys buy one, get one 50% off for the breeders. Means if you want to pick up the parents that produce this exact animal right here, instead of spending the over $1,000 it would cost, you would only spend like $700-800 for that pair. And that goes with all of them. It's going to be the standard buy one, get one. You guys aren't going to be able to buy the $45 gecko and then get an $800 one 50% off. Come on. But it is a very good deal if you guys want to get that. Again, the code is going to be code ANOLIS down there. Absolutely fantastic. If you guys are new here to the channel, you haven't been here for very long, you'd probably think this is a little bit of a weird thing, all of a sudden really downsizing a certain project. However, we've been trying to make a name and evolve this place for quite some time. Definitely made some evolutions through the time, and there was a point where I was breeding crux skinks and Mexican black king snakes. We had the era where I was trying my hand at Argus monitors and tegu lizards. We go through quite a different thing, and as we've grown this gecko business more and more now, where I kind of just like keeping geckos at this point, I do want to start branching out a little bit further and create something a little bit more unique. This is when, of course, Project Jungle came to my mind, and we made the expansion into being a bioactive store business on top of breeding reptiles, and it's kind of really shifted my mindset on how I want to keep and really what what I want the evolution of Dakota Blue Exotics to be. I no longer want to be this guy that houses hundreds and hundreds to thousands of animals in the rack systems, the tubs, the bins, so forth and so forth. Not trying to knock down anyone that does that, but personally for me, what I believe, I just don't find it right for me anymore, and it's not something I wish to do. If you are keeping big reptiles or like arboreal reptiles in rack systems, then yeah, I am gonna pick on you a little bit. I personally don't think that's right. Come to the light, so to speak, the light of the bioactive gods. Old Dakota has seen the error of his ways. Keeping animals like this no longer interests me. It makes me sad. It makes me depressed a little bit. It makes me not want to come down here. But stuff like this right here, this one's looking a little bad. It definitely needs a touch-up. But stuff like this and this, seeing beautiful enclosures coming down every day, seeing how the animals lay on the leaves, walk around, how much more mental enrichment and overall care they have in absolutely fantastic enclosures, that is what drives me these days. Now that I have the bioactive store and that can kind of pay the bills, so to speak, where products, and I guess plants technically are living things, but come on, they're plants at the end of the day. We have to draw the line somewhere. You can have that be the capitalist mindset, the businessman, getting in the money, raking in the loot, and when it comes to the actual living beings, the animals, I want that to be purely passion-based. I don't want to be breeding animals to breed animals just to try to make more money. I want to breed things where every single time I hatch that animal out, I get the expression like when I just hatched out these Leachianus, the Frappuccino crested geckos, the Toke geckos. Every time I find a new baby squirming around this 2x2, man, it is the best time of my life. I get just this jolt of excitement like, yes, dude, one more little dude squirming around in there. It's absolutely amazing. Not only that, I want to show the reptile community that it is not all crested geckos, ball pythons, and corn snakes. There are other reptiles out there in the world, believe it or not. You do not need to have shows that are filled with 90% of the most common species you can find, but we can actually find some really cool stuff. Brings me to the second thing I want to do. I want to add variety back into the reptile hobby. I want to use my platform to shine a spotlight on species you have never seen before. Or it's the stuff you don't know. Maybe you know more than I do. I'm just one dude that likes breeding geckos, so I don't know everything that's out there. Done it with the Toke geckos. I hear so many people that had such a negative connotation about the Toke, reading into the stereotypes and how they suck, and I have proved them wrong and showed what an absolutely amazing species it is to keep. We get messages at least once a week saying how they thank me for the content and showing the errors of the reptile hobby's ways of the Tokes and how they are actually incredible. Take that passion that I've shown to others and get them excited about this project too, creating more captive bredability of reptile species, and do that again and again and again with different species that are either very uncommon, little to no captive breeding availability, and stuff that even myself up to a couple of weeks ago had no idea even existed in this hobby. Found as time goes on, I want Dakota Blue Exotics evolution to not be one that is focused primarily on one specific species, although we will always have a lot of Toke geckos. They are dear to my heart. They are the thing that gives me the most passion. Hell, our logo is a Toke gecko, so of course we're gonna have a bunch of them. But I want to be the guy where you go to the table and you see all of these crazy animals. Just a few, just one pair, one couple of clutches at a time, so you got 6 of this, 6 of that, 7 of these, whatever the amount of number is. You go to this table and you look and you're like, what is this? I have never seen this before. And then I am able to talk to you about it. Crocodile geckos for existence. Wow, this is really cool. What is this? Oh, well, it's just like the Toke gecko. It's similar to this gecko and that gecko that is commonly seen. However, you don't see these very often. This is a cool thing. We'll get those crocodile geckos, fall in love with the species, want to start breeding projects of their own, start projects specifically for the crocodile gecko, get that guy to start vetting tables, so forth and so forth, creating little webs of people that get passionate about specific species that they did not know of before. In my opinion, the game is changing, boys and girls. No longer are we in the early 2000s where the new ball python morph is what's gonna make you rich, dropping $20,000 on the new pie just to make it worth $5,000 4 years from now. That isn't the game anymore. As we rise more and more in social media, people are not as content with what's the new thing, but more about what is the cool thing, what thing sparks interest to them specifically. To get that back going in the hobby, I want variety to be back at shows. I can't tell you how many ball python tables I have to cross until I find one small little table, one little tablecloth with 5 fish-scaled geckos. And I was like, I have never seen these. This is so cool to see captive bred fish scales. I ended up talking to that person for a while, out about these geckos that you never see at shows. And I want to have that spread more and more as we go on. The 2 things you're probably thinking is, Dakota, you're being a little egotistical right now. You're gonna change the hobby? No, I'm not gonna change the hobby. I'm just one guy that either people think a little highly of, or that thing is the stupidest guy on earth because he makes YouTube videos for a living. But hey, I have my own personal philosophy, and the best I can do is start leading by example. If others follow suit, that is incredible. If others don't, that's okay. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to rip the most common things. I'm not saying if you are passionate about corn snakes, you can't do corn snakes because they're too common. I'm saying what you should really look into is what is out there in the hobby and what is a really cool species that you really want to work with. If that happens to be the crested gecko, the ball python, go for it. But don't just get these animals because you think you're going to make a quick buck and keep going. Because as we can see here, that's not the way it's gonna go, and I think leading into the future, it is definitely going to be changing. Thanks to the amazing sponsors that are coming out here very soon, the amazing Patreon members and people that choose to support us over here, and eventually the customers that have purchased some of these crested geckos and other things off my site, we will be making that dream a reality and moving Dakota Blue Exotics to, once again, the next level. That is my bland, boring rant for today. Probably shot myself in the foot of any chance of selling crested geckos, but I did want to get that little speech out there because it is truly what I believe in. That is going to do it for today. If you guys want to check out some more videos going on, we've got this one going on right here, or this playlist going on right here. I'm not sure what I'll put. I guess crested geckos, but we'll find out. As always, thank you so much for taking the time of your day to follow us over here at Dakota Blue Exotics. I will see you guys next time, but until then, goodbye.